not to let you go with this, cause with this hip hop shit, you know we never miss. You know we never miss. Yeah, you know we never miss. Yeah, we in the house, y'all, when we don't stop, y'all. And we don't stop. Dr. Beckett in the house and you don't stop. My name is Mud in the house and you don't stop. My man DJ Rags and you don't stop. My man DJ Boom and you don't stop. My man Dwayne Philosophy and you don't stop. I can't forget Blind Optics, you don't stop. I can't forget Mr. Batty, you don't stop. I can't forget my man Flocko, you don't stop. And you don't stop, and you don't stop. My man Destruct in the house and you don't stop. My man Primo Cinematic, you don't stop. You don't quit, y'all. Yes, y'all. You don't quit, y'all. You never quit, y'all. You don't quit, y'all. You never quit, y'all. You don't quit, y'all. You never quit, y'all. Yeah. Hip hop for 2000. Check it out, y'all. Jazz addicts in the place. Yo. Dr. Beckett in the place. Yeah. For the vibe, y'all. Come on. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. And you don't,
Woo! Woo! Hello! I'm from that ticketed taco, the chocolate city, man, make it flicky with a bag of sticky yicky. They color purple like Harpo and Silly. Now pasta Peter, but guaranteed to keep your spinal column erect. And head nodding till you get a crick in your neck, twitching your eyes, stutter in your speech. Niggas is threats, beat your feet, motherfucker. Put some pepper in your step. Southeast, the uptown, the whole district connect. It's Rossi, gonna breathe straight out DC, red carpet ride. Who we be? New in the scene, passing through dreams, taking a few hundreds with me. 2 bottles got me pissed. My clothes, cause it's empty. Like your pockets when I roll that 4 tray. Give me that, pop the Henny cap, getting top while I hit a jack so bomb you can hear my teeth cap shattering. Like I popped a pill of magic aspirin. Red carpet, it's your party, but we crashing.
Free as a bird and high as a kite. Start this night off right. And it don't be scared. We going for a ride. We'll make you feel free as a bird and high as a kite. Start this night off right. And it don't be scared. We going for a ride.
Now finger licking good shit. Mumbo sauce and your chicken wings good shit. Lip gloss on a chicken head ghetto. Sipping to 11 more liquor getting mellow. Head out the window like Ace Ventura. Hollering at a red hoe like Ace Senora. Rated R, only take up 18 and older. Bucket triple X after a case of Corona. Then I pop up like Kane and baking soda. Pop bubbling up out the bus and rub it in. No cuddling, just get my nut and be like the wind. Gone in 60 seconds of affection. That's my Nicolas Cage impression. But what I wanna know is, can you be like Johnny Depp? Oh, and blow. Go deep sea like your name was Jaws. Using my snake as bait like Jamie Foxx.
We'll make you feel free as a bird and high as a kite. Start this night off right. And it don't be scared. We going for a ride. We'll make you feel free as a bird and high as a kite. Start this night off right. And it don't be scared. We going for a ride.
Now, I gotta take some private jets and Escalades, custom made on custom wheels and rims and license places say my name. Selling two-way with internet access. Jewels blue and gray, flooded with nothing but carrots. 6.0 Litre Diablo Lamborghini that can hit over 60 and 3. Easy martinis and green and we wild. We peep the scenery in a stretch beamer with my team with me. 50-inch screens, Izzy Miyake and silver jeans, fragrance, stepping so clean like a Marine singing cadence. Maybach Benz, big payback on the playlist. Rims like spaceships, make it seem weightless. Armed escorts walking with me through the airport. Manicure, pedicure, make your chick breath short. Yes sir, I'm cut from a different cloth. My texture is the best fur, ain't it soft?
Feel free as a bird and high as a kite.
Entourage.
Okay.
What's a velvet entourage?
Heard of Tony Eyes?
I'm not calling him Tony Ass. Who is that?
Tony Eyes is cute.
Fella, this is sexy.
Hoku Rich is an actress. An Instagram actress, right?
What's the catwalk?
I've seen Catwalk. She is hot.
Velvet Entourage.
What's the Velvet Entourage?
Is it a song?
Have you heard of the Velvet Entourage?
That sounds like a drink.
No. Where are they performing?
Did you see the Velvet Entourage?
Wait, they were on cable last night? Oh, shit.
Are they famous? Can I have your autograph?
Have you heard of the Velvet Entourage?
No, but I'm gonna listen.
Good evening. My goodness, I am excited, and words cannot express. We have a special guest joining us tonight. We have Adolfo Shabba-Doo Quinones, one of the forefathers of hip hop, the original Lockers, the original member of the Soul Train gang. I mean, words cannot express. This man danced his way into many hearts, including my own.
Mine's too. That's right.
So tonight is going to be a special treat. So we want everybody to stick around because we have the opportunity to sit back and talk to the man himself, the man responsible for style, grace, in terms of dance, as well as, you know, the fact that there's a lot going on, you know, that he is responsible for. So, and, you know, we want to share that information tonight. Take it away. There's really no intro needed, but this man, this important man, Adolfo, does this song bring back memories? Can you hear this song?
Say it louder. Say it louder. Some say it matters. Some say it's a lot of nerve. So we can't quit moving. What we deserve.
That's the Get It song right there.
Adolfo, tell us about that song.
that song holds great meaning for me. Growing up as a young black boy in Chicago, in the projects, it was during a time during the civil rights movement, and a time in our country when we were divided amongst ourselves, and we didn't know what kind of country we really could be if everyone was free and had civil liberties. At that time, James Brown came out with this record, and when I first heard it, I thought, God, I am beautiful. I am special, and it brought tears to my eyes. I mean, Martin Luther King held the same sort of prominence that Martin Luther King had in the inner city, Chicago, and across the country. He was someone to look up to. And so when I hear Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, it's an anthem for what I think of myself as a person.
And what we think of you as a person.
Well, it's important. I think it's important what other people think of you. It's to some degree, but what we think of ourselves is more important. And that's what resonates with me. I don't reflect on those days and think, well, what did people think of me? I think a lot about that record and that time and how I felt about myself as a black man.
Well, great. Well, we appreciate your sharing that information. At what age did you start dancing?
Oh, gee, 3 years old, 4 years old. As much like probably a lot of young, kids, dancing for their relatives during the holidays, trying to make a little money. Or something, or the parents would drink during the holidays, and then they would bring the kids in for entertainment. Hey, you, James Brown, or hey, can you do that stuff you saw on TV?
I can definitely remember times, doing Thanksgiving. As you can say, when you bring the kids in, we're in there with the family and you sliding around on your socks trying to be James Brown, trying to do his moves. So I could definitely relate to that 100%. It's just amazing. I got a chance to check out, some of your videos and things of that nature. And I need some tips. I need to step up my game is what needs to happen. So it's most definitely a shout out goes out to you.
You've spent 40 years dancing. And you've danced with some of the greats. You've danced with Madonna. I mean, actually, you coordinated her entire tour. Who's That Girl?
I choreographed that Who's That Girl World Tour. And it almost didn't happen. She held an audition. And at that time, and I still believe that, I don't audition. If you want to hire me, you hire me. If you don't, you don't. I'm not going to go in there and try to prove that I'm a street dancer. That's what I am. That's what I do. So I don't feel like I need to audition for that. So they should make up their minds. The employers should make up their mind if they want to hire someone who spends a lot of time working on his craft.
And you have spent a lot of time working on your craft. I was talking to a friend earlier today, and he also said, he danced in Shaka Khan's video as well. How did that come about? And what was it like working with Shaka Khan?
Well, actually, that Shaka Khan video was footage from another video.
Oh, really?
I was choreographing and working in a video for Norma Kamali at the time. And they used footage from that video in her video. So I never really worked with her on the set. They just used the footage.
Oh, okay. And sir, your name was not always Shabba-Doo because you had made reference to another interview that I saw that your name was Sir Lancelot. Yes.
Actually, I have a few different names. It's funny that we're mentioning this now because last night I was speaking to a young man from the Bay Area and talking about the different sort of names I had. One was Sir Lancelot. And then I was also known as the King Rookie. And then, yeah, King Rookie was kind of given to me. It was sort of an insult, kind of. Don Campbell Lock, the creator of the locking, Campbell locking style, saw me as I was the youngest member of the troupe, and he just said, "Hey, you're nothing but a rookie." And then, but I was really good. He was saying you're a beginner, basically. And so then he said, "You know what?" He upgraded. He said, "You're a king rookie." So everybody, everybody laughed and they said, "Oh yeah, he's the king rookie," because I learned how to dance so quickly. I learned the steps so quickly. But the other name, there was sort of this inner circle name that only a few people really called me, and that was the Mimic. They called me the Mimic. Because I could actually look at a dance style or look at a particular choreography and pick up on it immediately.
So you never really taken professional dance lessons because you were natural at it.
Nice.
Yeah. You go through, I went through this awkward period, where some of the stuff I was doing in the beginning, people would chuckle, you look sort of silly. And even my mom, said I was a fool, but I just kept working at it and just kept working, past the laughter and the ridicule. And they started to take me serious. They said, "Well, wait a minute, he's serious about this."
I love it. And we're going to talk about parents a little later in the show because, as I shared with you earlier today, there are a lot of parents that don't support their kids' dancing careers. It's like, no, why don't you become a nurse or a lawyer? But, allowing a child to express their creative energies, and become a success because you've gone from choreography to acting to directing, and here you are today, 40 years later. But we're going to go to a break, and we're going to come right back. So please stay put.
Will do.
Thank you.
She ain't no street dancer. She knows nothing about what we do. She can learn. Yeah? How?
You can teach me.
We're asking for trouble. And now I know we're in trouble.
That has to be one of my favorite scenes from Breakin'.
Yes, classic.
We are talking with the star of Breakin' 1, Breaking 2.
Electric Boogaloo. La Bamba.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the actor from Married with Children, Miami Vice, What's Happening, Tango and Cash. We're so happy you're here. Thank you.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
So we were earlier talking to you about your natural, talents and abilities, and not everyone obviously can do what you do. Tony and I are a little inept, maybe. We've already discussed. But do you think shows like So You Think You Can Dance, where it showcases all types of talent, street talent, classical trained people, is sort of like a good venue for people maybe wanting to get into dance or being seen now through our current time period versus when you were starting out?
Well, let me answer this. There was kind of a three-pronged question there.
Of course.
But I want to address the first. The first one is, and you kind of, it wasn't a question, you made a statement. You said, well, not everyone would be able to do what I do. I think that they can. I believe that they can. The difference between me and the average person or everyday person is they're not willing to do the things necessary to do the things I'm doing.
Okay.
You have to have a strong constitution. You have to be able to weather those moments of ridicule when everybody doesn't think you're cool, when they think you're a fool and you don't have any money, and you're just trying to say, hey, I'm going to make it one day, and they're like, yeah, get a job and all that stuff. Most people don't really want to weather that. So it's not whether or not they can or cannot be. It's more of the question, are you willing to do the things necessary to have a full-fledged career?
That makes sense.
The second part is, for me, dancing is just an extension of what I feel like.
I love it.
I love that too. Deep.
I don't do dance steps. I do expressions of myself, of my personality, of the kind of spirit that drives me. Some people call it God. Some people call it spiritual. Whatever fashionable word you want to call it, you can certainly label it that. But for me, I feel an inner drive in me, a spirit within me. And that was the key behind doing everything that I do and that I've done in the past and that I continue to do. I walk a very tight rope. And one moment I could be the most successful person in the world or be an utter failure. And I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem with failing. But I do have a problem with not trying. And so
great advice.
That's awesome.
I apply myself. There was a third question in there as well.
Tying in. So the show, I don't know if you've seen it, So You Think You Can Dance, where it showcases a lot of types of dancing.
Well, it's a kind of a bittersweet situation, those shows to me. I think they hold out a false promise, a false bill of goods. Hey, you win on that show, you're gonna have a career. You'll
be famous,
right? You're a star and all this stuff, and it's just really not true.
Right.
Most of those kids leave those shows and they don't do anything after that. And I've often asked kids in my class, hey, well, who was season 2 of So You Think You Can Dance winner? Who was season 3? They don't even know.
Great point. So what advice do you have for someone that has a talent, believe they have a talent, want to pursue dancing? What advice would you have for someone wanting to pursue that love of dance and that expression of dance?
Again, I think the operative word here is love. And for me, I love with my whole heart and my whole soul. And I just don't care about what people think about me, about any of those things. I'm driven by my own desires, my own heart, and my own love for what I do. And that's easier said than done. I think that the advice I would give people around the world is sit quietly one day when no one is around. You should spend a lot of time alone. I spend a lot of time alone. It's just me and God. Me, God, piece of wood. And I just say, you know, and I search within myself, and I say, what do I have to say? What's in me that needs to be said? And I want them to ask themselves quietly, do I want this? Is this something that I cannot live without? If the answer comes back yes, then you know you're on your right track or the right road to success. If the answer comes back, well, you know, if I had a better situation, or I made a little bit more money, if I had a babysitter, if
too many excuses.
Supported me, and you started all these ifs, I would say go back to school, get a career. This is not the situation for you.
Amazing advice.
Thank you. I
Life
love your
advice.
words.
I feel like it touched so close to home. I really appreciate those words.
Yes.
Now I have to give you a serious question right here from a guy's perspective right here. I just came back from DR, and it seems like everybody knows how to dance over there. And I know for a fact, you know, just watching your dance moves, and you know how it is when you go out there, you're dancing, you're trying to impress somebody. You know, were you ever out there at any point in time and just say it to yourself, you know what, I'm doing this for the ladies? You know, have you inspired ladies? You know, can you inspire them for me? Show me some things that I can get, you know, straight on my dance floor tip that, you know, you can show to everybody else.
Well, let me tell you something, young man.
I love it.
I would like to be able to say that. But you say you were in PR, I guess Puerto Rico?
No, DR.
DR.
Dominican
DR.
Republic.
Okay, and that's a two-pronged question.
Right.
One insight is I have my primal carnal needs that must be met. I'm a man, and when I was a young buck in the streets, you know, I loved women, and that was I would say not one of, it was my weakest suit. I couldn't do without them, and so.
We have some people over here that can relate to that. So
yeah.
Said that, you know, at the end of the day, you know, growing up with my mom in a single parent home and all sisters, I learned something about women. Okay, I was honest with them. I let them know right away that I was no good. You know.
See, that's the key right there. Being honesty.
They knew right away that I was a no good scoundrel. And as a matter of fact, I would say that. My opening line to a lot of women was, I'm a no good scoundrel. Can I have your number?
Probably got a lot of numbers that way, actually.
Yeah.
They appreciate your honesty.
Then I would go on and warn them, I'm not the kind of person that you want to bring home to mom.
Girls like that, though.
But anyway, but to be serious with you, women, and men, not just women, I don't want to just make it about women, but men and women are drawn to these primal sorts of energies, and and that's where I let them have it.
So you can't go wrong with it at all.
So if you try to be cool, that's not going to work.
Right.
You try to put on an act, that's not going to work. Women don't even care about your suit or even if you have a big nose. That stuff, they can look beyond that if you've got that je ne sais quoi, that's something energy.
Now that is true.
It's the energy.
Oh, that little something original.
I focused a lot on that. I focused a lot on that primal energy. You know?
And that's what most men should do. Focus on that
You know,
primal energy.
I'm gonna give you a little word of advice, okay? And this is another young man word of advice.
I love it.
Women, for the most part, in my experience, I got so much further along when I told a woman that she was smart than I did when I said she was pretty. And when instead of telling the girl that she was sexy or hot and all that, I told her, I complimented her, and I'd say something like, "That's a nice outfit you put together. How'd you put that together?"
He's
And
smart.
they'd say, "Oh, okay."
Somebody said that to me on the way in.
You see?
So those kinds of conversations they're going to entertain, but you look hot and all that stuff is just really boring. And don't hang around by the bathrooms and clubs either.
The same old line.
Same old story.
Straight creep mode, yeah.
Yeah, same
when
old
they,
story.
when the men kind of hover around the girls' bathroom.
Yes,
Tony,
we do.
Do the guys hang around?
I wouldn't know because I'm on a dance floor, you know.
Oh, he's trying to do his moves on the dance floor.
Witnessed this on numerous occasions, and it's sort of like the running of the lemons or some like salmon run or something. They stand near the restroom because they know the girl's going to go to the restroom, so they try to reach out and grab them. Passing by. And I think to myself, woman right now, what would I think about that? And I tell you right now, fellas, I would hate it.
Okay.
He's
thank
right.
you, and you're so right. You're so right, and the lines in the club these days are so lame. And the way the guys approach the ladies, and they have to grab on you as you walk by, and I'm thinking, don't touch me.
I hate that. It's because he thinks they're salmon, like he says, trying to reach out like the bear, like, give me my lunch, come to me.
But hold on now. Everybody doesn't have to do that.
Well, we hope that you don't.
I want to interject this with one little point. When I was in my youth, and I had this attitude. And I just want to put it out there because it just goes to show you how far gone my ego was. But I had in those days, I used to think that I was better looking than my girlfriend.
Oh, man. I love it.
I'm sorry. I've got to comment because
about that, so.
this, I had a boyfriend tell me. He said, "Well, I don't know why are you upset? I am so much better looking than you are." And I spent the rest of the night pulling all of our pictures to show. I'm not sure where do you get off thinking you're better looking than I am, but let me show you, buddy. And he said I must have found the worst pictures, all of his worst pictures.
They always are going to say that.
But I love it.
I did state that, I had an out of control ego, but
it grows over time.
Again, I was just a young man, so I didn't know any better.
Well, and luckily you've evolved. We can see that, so we're good.
Well, you know what? My evolution came painfully. I've had a number of relationships that just didn't work. And they didn't work because I was with a bad woman. It didn't work because I was so terrible. And I realized that they were great. I had a great woman the first time. But it took me 20 times to figure out I got a good one now.
Love the honesty. Love the honesty.
I have a question. Speaking of being a young man and back in those times, what influenced the style of clothes that you wore? Because in breaking, actually, you influenced me a lot. Half of the style that I wear now comes from, that time. And I just wanted to know, what... It was good for men to wear the cutoff shirts and the harem pants and, things like that. Now you wouldn't see that too much.
And Shabba-Doo, she rocks it well.
Very.
I love it.
She's got a...
Look.
Great.
Hey.
That's
beautiful.
That's great. Again, whether it be your clothes, choice of music, I don't know, whatever it is that is part of your identity, for me, my identity comes from how I feel. So I choose different things for all kinds of reasons. Like, just to give you an example, even now, I was on the phone with, well, actually, I think with Skype with my fiance, and I was saying to her, I've got to get red tassels.
I love it.
She was like, what? I said, I have to get red tassels. And she was like, what's that? I go, you know, the things that hang from curtains or whatever. And so she was like, well, why do you want that? So I said, because Muhammad Ali wore it. And now I didn't want the red tassels because I wanted to copy Muhammad Ali. I want the red tassels because of how it reminds me of how Muhammad Ali made me feel as a young man growing up in Chicago as a kid. He made me feel proud of myself. I loved him, you know? Yeah. So when I wear those tassels, I feel that love I had for him. So it makes me feel superhuman. It makes me feel powerful. That's what I told her. I said, I'm going to put it on my hat. I'm going to put it on my shoes. And then now when I think back,
I love it.
It would look like a piece of furniture if I wore that many tassels. But and again, another thing is I grew up in an era where.
Well, I want you to hold that thought because
Okay.
I want to
please
hold that thought because we're coming back to that because we've got a lot more to talk to you
Okay.
about. So hang tight. We'll be right back.
Every day there's something new. Honey, ooh, every day there's something new. Honey, ooh, every day there's something new. Honey, every day there's something new. Honey, ooh, every day there's something new. Honey, every day there's something new. Honey, every day there's something new. Honey, ooh, every day there's something new. Honey, every day there's something new. Honey, ooh, every day there's something new. Honey,
Speaking of
I had to get my selfie. I'm sorry.
Man.
Thank you, Shabba-Doo.
Thank you.
I actually love that video, but I want you to finish your thought. Right before we went to break, you had a thought, please.
Yeah, I was answering her question about style and about where I get my style from. You know, I grew up in an era where men and women they cared about what they look like and how they dressed. And I grew up watching, you know, all the movies and musicals from the 40s and the 20s or whatever. And one of my favorites was Cab Calloway. So
yes.
I see myself as a modern day Cab Calloway. That's one of my own private dreams. I wanted to play Cab Calloway on Broadway or in a movie or something, but I think that chance may never come. But that's just my own personal dream.
You could always
but,
write.
You know, sometimes you know you don't get them all. You know.
You could always write it yourself.
Well, I could, but I can only write so many things. I write everything that I have. All my projects, I write them, but they take time, you know, processing. But again, my outfits, like the one with the cutoff shirt, or let's say the one that is famous from the movie Break-In, it's an influence of a few different characters. One is, and when I tell you, I think you'll go, oh my God, there you go. The pants I wore were certainly Zoot Suit pants, and those are from Cab Calloway.
Yep.
And then I started wearing the cutoff shirts and the belts and stuff because of Zorro.
Wow.
Zorro. Yeah, it does make sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you look at my black trench coat, it's my cape in my mind.
I love a superhero.
In my mind, in Break, I was a superhero.
That's so dope.
So I was wearing like a mixture of like Cab Calloway, swashbuckler meets Zorro, you know, kind of character. And so the bandanas that I made popular, and I believe I was the first one to wear them, I started tying them around my ankle and the top of my shoe because they were supposed to be spats, if you know what spats are.
Yes.
Spats are
Yeah.
that tap dancers, or like you watch the old movies, Fred Astaire is wearing spats or whatever. He used to wear them over his shoe. So my bandanas were spats, and the bandana that I wore around my waist, that was like my sash. You know,
Okay.
and
It all makes sense now.
the reason I started wearing my bandanas around my wrist was because of the first day of shooting, I fractured my left wrist. And so I started tying bandanas around my wrists, and I didn't tell them that I actually broke my wrist and did the movie with a fractured wrist.
Wow.
Just made it
And
work
so,
for you.
all I needed for that outfit to make it complete would have been a mask.
Yeah.
Nice.
You totally pulled the Zorro look off.
You know, then I love the tropical feel of everything. Like that's why I wore a lot of beads and things, and earrings and ivory earrings and feathers and foxtails, and then I wore these.
And that is so Hoku.
That's
is
all me.
That
It's
is,
coming back.
and she loves the style, and she gets so many compliments when we're out regarding the style.
I want to compliment you, and that's great. You should be yourself. And I tell everybody that I meet, you know, be daring enough to be yourself. I mean, they certainly were like that on Soul Train. Everybody did their own thing. They had their own identity. Nowadays, it seems like everybody dresses like, you know,
I hate that.
a baseball cap, a T-shirt, and some jeans. It just looks like a jumpsuit. It doesn't look like anything. Like,
I always say dare to be different.
I love it. Dare to be different.
Yep.
I mean, if you look at the rappers, look at the rappers in the beginning. If you look like Grandmaster Flash and those kinds of people, look how different they looked. You know, everybody wanted to have their own look. Now it's like they all look the same.
I agree. They do.
Probably going through the different phases of, you know, of R&B, of hip hop, and things of that nature. Things are definitely, you know, actually going back to the way they were, because everybody steals off of everybody. That's what they do. I definitely feel that that's where it's headed to. You know, even the haircuts. Even if you go all the way down to the haircuts, you see the same style that they had back in the day. You know.
All right, we're gonna.
What I'm wearing now.
Shabba-Doo, hold that thought. We're gonna be right back.
Okay.
bring it back. Bounce. Like you. Bounce. Bounce. See them big, tell me opposite lady and I'm pretty. Break bread if you wanna get with me. All I wanna do is dig up in the business. Tell your boyfriend he better mind his business. Before he end up in the trunk of my Bentley. I can send it up boss, he can't hit me. He ain't got enough paper to deal with me. Roll them on, I got tipsy. Hit it tonight, tomorrow you history. All you haters will miss me. I stay scratch security, don't frisk me. Set it off to the empty. I turn around, do the same next week. Come on.
That is one of our favorite movies.
We should have had our pose like that when we came back on the air.
Oh,
at the end of it, just. Yeah. We got to do something.
We have to do.
That's what it is.
So let's get out there and dance in the rain. But it's not. Unfortunately, it's not raining. So we just played a clip from Step Up. What are some of your favorite dance movies, Shabba-Doo?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call them dance movies per se, but my favorite musical movies was West Side Story.
Yes, I'm going crazy over here, y'all.
Yes. I've had the pleasure of working with a number of them. Jaime Rogers, he choreographed Breakin' from West Side Story.
Wonderful.
I worked with and helped shape my career is David Winters. from West Side Story. I worked with Russ Tamlin, so I have an affinity for them. But so West Side Story and The Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
they had a lot of dancing.
His character was Ray Bolger as the Scarecrow.
Was that your favorite character?
Yes, he danced the best. My favorite musical growing up, one of them was Stormy Weather with Lena Horne and Cab Calloway and the Nicholas brothers. But for overall coolness, I would say Bojangles, anything Bojangles did.
Bojangles, yes.
And Fred Astaire. And oddly enough, in this time and era, I have replaced that, like on the Family Guy. I don't know if you watch this show, The Family Guy.
Sometimes
I watch it.
The Simpsons, and the shows like that. Even this recent movie with Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, and they were like, I think it was called Grown Ups.
Yep,
Yes.
Grown Ups.
In the film, one of Chris Rock's wife says, "Come on, baby, dance with me," and he says, he's like hesitating. She said, "Come on, you know you like to dance." He said, "Yeah, I'm just a regular old Shabba-Doo."
They got yourself a shout out.
That's your shout out, right?
It's in the movie, and I saw that, and I was like, he's talking about me.
I love it.
In the Family Guy, they did the same thing. The lead character says, "Hey, you know what? The reason you came up with that idea is you got it from Adolfo Shabba-Doo Quinones."
Oh, I love it.
I was watching that, and I was like, so what has happened is, and even the Wayans brothers in Living Color, they reference me in that way. So what is happening now, when people used to say, "Oh, you just think you Fred Astaire," now people say, "Oh, you just think you Shabba-Doo."
Yes.
See, that's where you need to start filing for some royalties or something like
Trademark it.
Like, unfortunately, the only royalties you get is just cultural and pop, American pop culture awareness. That's it.
And
There's
you're heading to Germany in a few days. So tell us.
Well, actually, it's going to be the beginning of
September.
I'm leaving the end of
30 days.
August. And I'm working with Tankman and his posse, Emmanuel and Osmond. They put together a nice program. I have teaching kids workshops there and speaking to them and encouraging them in their careers. But I'm really excited working with a young man. He's a hip-hop dancer and a house dancer. His name is Majid. So he's also will be teaching that day. So, and then I'll be headed over to London and giving some workshops in London, and then over the Paris. But I spend a lot of time now, just so you know, just for the record, I'm working closely now, and we're in talks with Soul Bridge Entertainment.
Okay, wonderful. Okay.
So I'm going to be, we're in talks for me to come on as president of artist development.
Okay.
I'm going to be working with a young man I'm really excited about. He's from Chicago. I got to put a plug in for him. I'm from Chicago. His name is Lindale. So if you ever get a chance, go to thisisit.lindale.com.
Thisitlindale.com. We're going to check him out.
LENDELL.com. This is it. Or this is Lindale.com. That's it. This is Lindale.com. But anyway, he's a fabulous young man with tons of talent. So I'm really excited to be working with him and helping shape the artists' roster, their performances and whatnot with Shikiji, CEO of the company.
Well, before we're getting ready to close out the show, but before we close out the show, tell us about your book. When will your book be hitting the stands? When will it be released? And where can our listeners buy your book? First and foremost, tell us the name.
Well, right now, the book is titled Shabba-Doo, How Breaking Helped Shape American Culture and Saved My Life.
When can I get my autograph?
Now, the book, to answer the question when the book will come out, the book will be released when it's ready, when I feel good about what's in there. I'm not going to rush it.
Okay.
It's a long journey getting it right. So when it's right, it'll be out, and it could be anytime soon or never. But not until it's right.
And I like that.
I'll be waiting for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we want to thank you. We hope that you will be a guest in the future, so that we, once the book comes out, we want to talk about the book. We want to read the book, and
we want to get our autograph.
Exactly. Send our books to you for autographs, and you never know when we may be on the red carpet in Los Angeles. So,
and go to my website www.Shabba-Doo.com, and you'll hear about a new documentary I'm doing as well called The Kings of Crenshaw.
Nice. Wonderful. Amazing. Thank you.
The West Coast movement. But anyway.
Hey, lots of love for you. Thank you for joining us. Hoku, close us out, babe.
All right, y'all. It's a wrap. We will join us next week, same place, same time. We'll have our guest.
So one day,
Tishawanu.
That's easy for you to say.
I know.
T'Challa.
So one day, Tishawanoa.
T'Challa.
I got to screw that up. So one day, T'Challa. I got it.
Yes, he'll be joining us next week, an award-winning and independent filmmaker. So stay tuned.
Up next, y'all, Open Bar. Check them out. They have a wide variety of drinks that I would like to taste right now.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Why aren't you doing anything?
Brand new bags, no shoes, yeah, I want it.